Can you hear it? Welcome to Relay.
Hello. Oh, yeah, I got the names right. The sound is working.
Is it?
We're live. Yep, I see sound.
Did we
I
manage
see
to
names.
actually do all the things?
We did.
Yeah, it took you 2 weeks to grow the beards back, and you refused to go live without beards, and I've just been sat here watching your beards grow for the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, isn't it fun?
I don't know about fun.
Who's not well? I'm not
Like
well.
it's
I'm
2 o'clock. I feel like it's 1 o'clock in the morning, but it's saying it's 2 o'clock.
yeah.
Yeah, your time just changed, didn't it?
That's rough.
Well, we got half an hour left. What's going on? Let's go.
All right. We do have 3 weeks to friggin' cover.
Oh, in 30 minutes. Jeez.
Excuse me for my coughing, guys. I'll try to mute myself. But
No worries. It happens. Before we begin,
Eric had
hello,
cholera.
Darsh and Tip and anyone else, lurking in the ether. Good to see you. Hope your weeks have been well. And Eric and Shiver, good to see you. Hope your weeks have been well.
All right.
And me, good to see you. Hope your weeks have been well. Okay.
I'm not there, so I can't smack you to see if I can get you unstuck. Maybe I
doesn't
should
help.
call Cass.
Yeah, it doesn't help. I've tried.
My week has been recovering mostly.
Yeah.
I actually worked this week, but some of it wasn't much fun.
2024 has just been a bit shit.
Yep. I have been sick or injured almost the entire year. I think there's been like a week or two where I haven't been sick or injured. So
We're a third of the way through.
yeah. I'm hoping that this is the end of it, please. World. Oh,
No,
and
that's December 31st.
just as I'm recovering here, last night my dryer died.
Oh no.
Like died, dead, completely not working at all. Yeah, good times.
That's brutal. I'm sorry. Sure, do you want to say something?
Whatever.
I
Sure.
Do you want me to do this? Or I should probably actually just be normal. You knew it was going to happen.
I don't.
How was your week, Arch?
Yeah.
Oh, you're very sick. Okay. Very,
That's
very, very
unfortunate.
sorry about that, my friend.
I've actually been having a pretty decent 2024 so far. It like good for everyone. I basically got full authority to like continue my crusade on waste in and like unsustainable practices in government IT. So I'm like full speed ahead to save a very, very small fraction of the world. It's been good, you know.
One small fraction at a time.
Yep.
I was never very good at fractions.
I'm really bad at fractions.
So
But
we've had some exciting stuff happening in the Star Citizen.
in Star Citizen, yeah. That sounds brutal, Darge. I'm sorry. Also, we just lost Sugar. He disappeared.
I mean, can you blame him?
No.
I do like your description of the boulder. Darge, that's an excellent boulder description. I am very sorry, though.
Small boulder the size of a large boulder. The boulder. The boulder approves. Yeah, I don't even know. So if we move on to Star Citizen, as I guess we're supposed to, as a Star Citizen, as ostensibly.
I mean, we
Star
can
Citizen
spend a half an
podcast.
hour not talking about Star Citizen, is what you usually do. But
yeah, we do have a
you.
lot to cover. We got a lot to cover this week, so I guess we should talk about Star Citizen. And there's been a lot happening. So we do have like 3 weeks worth of content.
There's stuff.
In like 3 weeks worth of ISCs, but then there's been a couple of other things that they've announced not through ISCs recently. The one I can think of, actually, you know what? There's been a couple things. The one I can think of most recently is Fauna coming in 323.
Some really interesting fauna too. Not just like one animal. There seems to be a few. So that's pretty damn cool.
I came back in time to see myself spawn on the stream.
Oh, yeah. So there's like a cougar and a pterodactyl. The cougar.
What's the name?
That's a funky looking cougar. I can tell you.
Yeah, it looks more like a saber-toothed tiger or something, but
without the saber teeth and with a rhino's horn instead.
Yes, a saber-horned rhino. Rhino liger.
A rhino liger. There you go. I like it.
A saber-horned rhino liger.
There you go. We have the scientific name. There you go. Oh boy.
Rhinolaigerius saberhornicus.
Oh man. Now as for the bird, it definitely took some notes from pterodactyls, but
I'm okay. So I'm really disappointed in the bird. I think the
okay.
cat thing is quite interesting in that they will run away from you if they're on their own, but they will attack in groups, which is, I actually think, a really interesting way of doing that. Um, Most games don't do things like
Mhm.
that, which is disappointing, and I'm happy that CIG are implementing that. I think that's kind of cool.
Also makes them way scarier because you know, they come back as a pack.
Yeah,
It's not
well,
fun.
and you feel bad killing them because it's just one running off, but you have to kill it because if you let it run off, it's going to go find others and come and deal with
Yeah,
them.
then there's
Right?
12.
Yeah. But I was really disappointed in the pterodactyl because the way they were filming that little short teaser with the cougar walking up and it like the pterodactyl, I felt like the pterodactyl should have like taken off and then picked up the cougar and been like this giant fucking 12-foot wingspan thing that will like swarm in groups and take down auroras, you know? Like I want this to be a frightening fucking
There's
bird.
not gonna be just one bird.
I mean, I thought there was just one bird and one cougar, and we were all,
Oh, okay.
set loose on
Okay.
Stanton
All
to
right.
try and find them.
So you're upset about the pterodactyl looking thing because it's not gigantic.
Yes, I wanted to be gigantic.
All right.
Which came
Understood.
first, the pterodactyl or the cougar?
I think the pterodactyl, if we're talking about evolution, because land mammals took a lot longer to evolve than flying reptiles.
I don't know. I'm still trying to picture this one pterodactyl, one cougar thing, and it's just kind of running out like a sci-fi version of Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner in my head. That's all they do on this planet. That is the only life form on these planets, and they're just acting out a Looney Tunes cartoon.
I think
Somebody
that would be
needs to
great.
make a machinima of that.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh,
We don't know if they can't mate or not, Darsh. They could. We don't know about the mating habits
Never
of
know.
extraterrestrial organisms.
I think you'll find that mating isn't the problem anyway.
I guess they can mate. They just might not be able to procreate.
I don't
Yes,
think I have a comment for
Quetzalcoatlism
that.
isn't. No. I want to see. I need to look something up. Carry on. Sorry, I need to look something up quickly.
Oh, I was
God,
just
it's
gonna
doing
say
Rule
I
34
also
on
like the teaser of the critter, the unseen critter in the cave.
Yes. I don't know. I'm interested to see what we're going to be getting. If these are the only two fauna we'll get, or if they'll surprise us with some other things. They've shown off various fauna over the years.
I'm assuming the cows are gonna be in there.
I want the cows
I
in there.
wonder if they're going to get to this point where it's like, in essence, core animals, a cow is, in essence, it's the same relative outline shape as a horse. Pig, scale it down, and so on and so on. You just put in these core animals. And if you look at the way the character creator works, mixing in different attributes and spewing out something at the end, it could be that perhaps they're looking at making fauna procedurally generated in their own editors, having a look at things and making sure that there's enough variety. And
Yeah, I could see
doing it
that.
way.
I think it would be much more uh, procedurally generated with a lot of artists, input.
But
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
they
I mean, it wouldn't put artists out of work. If anything, it'd be like, hey, look, this has been thrown. Yeah, in essence, kind of like Spore, and that would be why the artists are going in to be like that. That's too much. No.
Yeah, exactly. Make it
Well-
not do the No Man's Sky thing
But there's
Please.
you could actually get some interesting gameplay from this as well, because if you can have like lots of fishing games, for example, will have different weights of fish, and they don't necessarily even need to show a real difference in the fish that you catch. They just say the weight is different. But if CIG can actually make there be a 20% variation in the size of these animals, and your task is not just to catch one cougar, it's to catch a cougar that weighs over 75
A
kilograms.
mondo
Right.
cougar.
Right? Or like catch one that is white, catch an albino cougar, right? Like there's gameplay in there for people that want to hunt. So I think it's actually a really interesting idea, honestly.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely something that they should and can do
They do it in Red Dead 2.
easily. Yeah.
Yeah.
Red Dead 2 did a beautiful job of it.
I will be right back. Carry on.
Hello, Citizen Ninja. We only saw him in chat because he allowed it.
Yeah. Yes, he had to drop stealth. Oh man.
But yeah, I think it's quite cool the fact that they've got flying fauna in. Like
Yeah, me
this
too.
early already. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And I mean,
I wonder
that would be really good if there were lots of them, lots of flying fauna, because it makes it more interesting with ships, because you can have them like flying alongside ships and stuff, which would be really cool. Yeah, I like that they're attacking already.
strikes.
Yeah, that would be hilarious if that was a legitimate concern while you were flying. You're like,
Why couldn't it be?
There's
See what
a
Dodge has
lot
got it
of-
on his mind as well.
there's a lot of pterodactyls here. If we tried land, we might just crash.
That's how they went extinct in the first place.
That's right. Yeah, spaceship crashes. Yeah.
Yep. Lots of
Oh,
spaceship
man.
crashes. Really big windscreen wipers.
What? Need windscreen wipers for all the blood? Oh man.
Overfeed your in-game cat to get a fat cat without being cruel to a real animal. And you can use it to throw at the pterodactyls. Meow. Clever.
Now, I have a question for you, Shiver. Did you see
Yeah.
the little teaser in the cave?
Probably, but that was weeks ago now, and I don't even know what time it is anymore. I'm very confused.
Well, my simple question is: do you think that the animal that they were teasing in the cave is one of these two, or is it something else entirely?
No, it's going to be something else entirely.
I think so too.
It's the tongue of the sandworm. What you do is it lures you in. You're like, ah! And then you kill it, and you're like, yeah, I've got it. And then you just like slowly pan back, and you're like, oh, here you go. But I mean, also as well, what kind of really freaky shit could you expect in caves? Are they going to be climbers? Are you going to? Because that would be really cool, as well as very difficult if you've got climby enemies that you have to be constantly watching. I don't know what your field of view would be, a full 360, I guess. It adds an interesting dynamic to exploration.
It sure does. That's
Hey,
and that's sort of what's missing from caves, right? Is you need incentives in caves, you also need dangers in caves. Darge, during the cougar versus pterodactyl teaser, the cougar was walking out between pieces of broken building on Hurston. It wasn't a cave.
Hey, Dan. Hey, everyone. Okay, so are we good?
Toshi!
I'm going to move us over to show and tell briefly. And there's something specific I wanted to talk about. Let me just find it here.
Ooh.
the F7C Mark II.
Yes. The
We
ship
haven't
that you
talked
hated
about
is now no longer as ugly.
I like this ship. It fixed, it's still like a B, but it fixes a lot of the things that I hated about the original Hornet. And I just wanted to say, like, hey, I don't hate this ship.
Nice. Now,
And
if only
I
they
thought
could
everyone
fix
should
the
know that.
freelancer.
Yeah, well, that's a whole other.
I
Yeah,
still
it
prefer
looks
the
good.
Super Hornet.
I like the there was a post on the subreddit. Somebody found a glow in the dark Hornet spray painted at the wall of their local mini golf course.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. We'll drop that link into chat.
Yeah, I like the Hornet Mark II, and I really like that they've done this with a ship finally. Like, the Hornet Mark I isn't going anywhere, right? But this
Yep.
is a redesigned.
I think you'll find it
Hornet.
is. That's the whole point of a spaceship. Jesus.
Oh man.
Love it. Okay.
No,
Which
we've talked about this before, but I really do think they have a big opportunity in Star Citizen for having age be a thing with ships and have old ship models. It makes a lot of sense in the universe. A lot of these ships are the actual model itself is like 600 years old or 400 years old. There should be old ones.
Yeah. Well, and they've got them all working in game now, and they all work, but just as there are some that are really old lore wise, there are some that are just really old design wise, like the Hornet, the Gladiator, the Aurora, the Free, like
Javelin.
that. Yeah.
I think it's a Javelin. It's fucking ancient.
But like that, the first. Basically the first ships that were announced with the Kickstarter, they were designed in what, 10 years ago? More? 12 years ago?
By a lamp.
By a lamp. Some of them need a little bit of an update, you know? Dan, they just announced the new version of the Hornet. So this is the Hornet Mark II. But they're not getting rid of the Mark I. It's a separate ship. So there's two Hornets. There's the Hornet Mark I and the Hornet Mark II, and they're both ships in the game, and the Hornet Mark II just looks a lot better. It just looks like a better ship.
I don't really see that much of a dramatic
has,
difference.
The Hornet Mark I is kind of the Hornet Mark 1.3. That is true.
It is, but those updates were more like gameplay changes updates. Like, those were the updates that they had to do to bring the ships in line with all the changes they had made to the game. Because originally they weren't going to have, the pipes system, and originally they weren't going to have, game engine updates and such, right? So there's that. Yeah, there's that difference in like updating the ships for what they need to for the game, and then this, which I think is a lot better. It's the in-lore reason for updating the ship, and you get a new ship, and I love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do hope they keep the old even if they're just derelicts and such. I would like to see the old Connies and such in there too.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be a waste to have spent all this time on these assets and then never use them ever again for anything.
Yep.
Especially in a universe like this that does need to have some feeling of age, because it does have age.
I mean, it
Um,
instantly tells a story on
Yeah.
site.
You're like, hell, this is not the current constellation.
Hmm.
Wow, okay, so this is really old. That immediately tells you right away that there's some history here. How long it's been there, so on.
It's those cool little bits. It's just sort of like this hasn't been a specially made mechanic kind of thing. It's just this is how they have made the game of. I thought it was kind of cool how it just works. The way that they've set this up, that it just works.
Yep.
In between all the crashes.
Yeah, like they're still selling the Mark 1 Hornet. So you can
Yep.
buy the Mark 1 or the Mark 2, which I think is brilliant.
That's
honestly.
amazing. Yep. I like it.
Dan, I don't think they necessarily say anywhere specifically that they're going to have two. It's just you can find both of them on RSI's website to pledge for. Right? They're both there.
Yeah, I think it's an upgrade to get to Mark II, so if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, you can upgrade your Mark 1 to a Mark 2,
Yeah,
or you can just
but you don't have to, yeah.
keep the Mark 1. So here's the Mark 1. And then here is the Mark 2. And they're separate chips. Mark 2, so the Mark 1, if you want to buy it, it's $125 for the standalone ship. The Mark 2 is $160 for the standalone ship. Better ship, costs more.
It's got a new coat of paint. No, I know the
Yep.
Mark II is a little better.
Anyway, yeah. And yeah, Citizen Ninja, you're right. Like, we might see the Mark II of the other variants as well, which is kind of cool.
They could even do something different with Mark II
They could.
variants rather than follow the same structure from the Mark 1. They could have something completely off the wall if they wanted.
Which would be great. Anyway,
A cargo hauling Hornet?
They could. Well, there is. That's got a cargo box. A cargo box.
You know what I meant.
I know. Anyway, I really like that they've done this, and I think I've said for the last probably 8 years that I want them to do this, and they finally have, and it makes me really happy.
Yep. And it's so funny because for a long time we were worried if there was going to be enough variation for ships in Star Citizen. Yeah, we don't have a problem with that. We're good.
We don't have a problem with that. Nope. Well, where is it?
And don't
Carbide
forget as
Edge
well,
says-
if they're doing with this with ships, they can extend this out to weaponry, handheld guns, all that kind
Yep.
of thing as well.
Yep. Carbide Edge says the next version is the Mark Hamill, which is a great joke, but also, well, no, they did that already, didn't they? Yes, they did. They had at one point a couple of years ago, you could buy specific loadouts of inverse, like, superstars sort of thing. Does anyone remember that?
Not at all.
Okay, well, they did, but you should be able to, like, buy Mark Hamill's loadout for his
So
Hornet,
you fly the same one as old man?
Yeah,
whatever.
as Old Man. Right? The old man variant Hornet that you can. Yeah,
That'd be funny.
yeah.
Have
I
the
think
ship
it was the
dealer go,
Heartseeker.
"This is the old man."
Why not? All right, I'm going. There's a lot of other stuff to cover, so I'm going to move us over to this, which is So this was, I think this was
awesome.
3 weeks ago. It was the extremely revamped character creator.
Yep. Oh,
Which no longer can you only cycle through two faces and blend two faces, and I don't know, man. It looks good. Yeah, saving and loading is important.
Saving and loading is huge. That was like one of the big questions that was asked when they first showed this.
Yeah,
I'm glad they got it done.
And beards.
Oh man, the beards look good.
And
this might be the best. This might be the best beards I've ever seen in a game. Beards are often horrible in games.
They are, but like the sliders are really good. I don't know. I always have this idea that I'm going to spend a lot of time in character creation and make something really cool. And then I'm like, oh, I like the default one. Yeah, I'm just going to go with that. And I say, fuck it, because I just want to play the fucking game. That said, I love looking at other people's interesting creations with character creators. So I'm excited to see what other people do now that they'll have infinite cosmic power.
Yeah, this looks really good.
Space.
I mean, it looked amazing at the time we first saw it too. I'm glad it's coming so soon.
One thing, CIG Dragon's Dogma recently did it where their demo for the game was just they released the character creator for people to play around with. And I genuinely think that's a great idea. And you could save the characters and then
Cyberpunk do that too?
Possibly. I don't remember.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I think
there's
that's
been a few games that have done it for sure.
CIG should do that. Just the character creator is free for anyone to try.
Just standalone, yeah.
Yeah, standalone character creator.
Man.
Oh, that's a great Darge saying that Buster the Destroyer is going to have character creator streams where you send her photos of yourself and she'll try to recreate you in the game. That's great. I love that. I really like that idea. I mean, I will probably... the only problem is... Oh, wait, no, because you can save and load now. So, yes, I will try and recreate myself in the character creator and save that. Just, to have it. Me and what I would look like if I had blue hair. I tried to dye my hair blue once. Didn't take it.
Wow, you really life on the edge there. Blue hair. You wild, crazy cat, you. Wow.
Shiver, that was me pushing things. I had also wanted a lip ring, but my mom wouldn't allow it. So trying for the blue hair was the most I could get, and it didn't even work.
That was you as a hellion, eh?
Yeah, that was me as a hellion.
Oh man, I love these hair options.
The beards are so good. They look really good.
They look amazing.
Yeah.
I'm blown away by the beards in particular. I mean, the hair looks amazing too. There's been amazing hair before, though. This is really amazing hair, but the beards are especially impressive.
Yeah. Well, and as Dan said, like, one of the reasons I've never bothered creating a character in Star Citizen at this point is that I know that it's going to just be gone the next time there's a patch, and I don't want that. So now that you can save it externally and then load from that file, yeah, I'll take some time and play with it because my work isn't going to get lost, Yeah,
I think Carbide actually locked onto something there with the blue hair as a nod to the original Wing Commander. That's cool.
Nice. No, we should also mention that, as Darj said, like Jake campaigned for this, and it's very important. But CIG did not have to make everything gender inclusive, and it's good that they did, and it's good that more games are doing so. And we do need to, stand up against
At what point did they stop doing that, though? Because I remember playing many games quite a few years back, and it was like, just go, it's everything. And then they did stop doing that. When did they stop doing that?
I don't
It
know
became
exactly
the
when
norm
they
to
did,
just-
but there were definitely a while there where everything was locked away behind your gender.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
and now it's started to unlock again. Like Baldur's Gate 3 did a great job of it as well.
They did.
I'm
It is amazing.
I'm currently playing, and we've got an all bard party. We're all bards.
Oh, God, that's so powerful. Bards are
and
insanely powerful.
I'm playing Master Notagrill, spelt Knotagril, Notagrill, who is a very ostensibly attractive female with a very fake mustache and goatee of a completely different color from her hair, because she's pretending to be a boy so that she can be in the band of bards.
I like it.
Because I was allowed to, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Oh, Darge, it's called a Bardy.
Barty. It is. But
Oh man.
and yes, we've CIG have been really good at acknowledging that, hair for persons of color is not where it needs to be. Just like they acknowledged for a long time that, how long did we go without a female character?
Oh,
And then
that
without
was the
beards,
weirdest
and then,
thing that's ever happened in Star Citizen's development.
But they are doing the work. They are making it so that you can create whomever you choose to be, which is, I mean, that should be the entire point of a character creator. You should be whomever you choose to be.
Yep.
And I really do think that should be in most games. Part of the reason I hate The Witcher is
you should never, ever be allowed to be a person that likes pineapple on pizza.
I love pineapple on
shit.
pizza.
Why can't I be myself? We're Canadian. It's like one of our things to love pineapple on pizza.
This is not acceptable.
Well,
anchovies.
I also despise anchovies, so there you go.
I fucking
pineapple pizza
I'm really
is great.
pissed off. Fucking local pizza place I like to go to. Stop. They just don't have anchovies on the menu anymore, and it's like, fuck.
Yeah, because nobody in their right mind eats anchovies.
Fuck you. Anchovies.
Oh, man. Oh man.
This is coming from someone who eats raisins out of choice.
Yeah, Dan, there's always going to be that bad side of the community, but I'm hoping that the steps that CIG have taken to make sure that everything is very obviously inclusive will scare them the fuck off, because I don't want them anywhere near my community.
Uh-huh. Agreed.
Yep.
Oh man.
Anyway, character customizer.
I also really love I love how every time they're like, oh, we got to do a thing, they're like, okay, we're going to do the thing, but then we're also going to come up with this really cool company that's in charge of the thing. It's going to be Bioticorp, and we're going to make a really neat logo for it. There we go. It's going to be Calliope Bioreconstruction. Like, okay. Somebody over there is having a lot of fun making stuff, which is pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Darge. I'm not saying that it was made specifically for this. I'm just saying that they're you know, they have a whole team that's making logos and companies and, you know, lore and generally filling out the universe. And they get to have fun.
I cannot wait to play around with these hairstyles.
Yeah.
Citizen
Yeah,
Ninja,
they,
I am Italian. So, pineapple on pizza's fine.
You're about as Italian as I fucking am.
Half Italian. And half
Half
Irish.
Italian.
And all drunk.
And half Irish. So you're not Canadian in any way, shape, or form then?
Well, born in Canada, yeah.
I mean, like, how Irish are you? What, your mother or your grandfather? Because after that, that's like, you're so diluted. Don't. You're integrated.
Irish,
the problem is
I don't know, but Italian is grandfather.
Here,
I'll
if you
give you
think like
Italian.
that, if you think like that here, then everybody or almost everybody isn't anything except Canadian. Most people here have a pretty vested interest. Like, where did they come? Where did their ancestors come?
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm Roman.
No, good.
It's
Congratulations for being Roman. You're Italian. There you go.
You're Italian.
No, I'm Roman. There's a difference. Thank you.
Oh, that's a good point.
We speak a very different language. We have very different.
Hey, no.
Foods.
Hang on, guys. Hang on.
I'm taking it back. I'm from fucking
stop.
outer
Shiver.
space. I'm an
Shiver.
amoeba from an asteroid.
Hang on. Staticus. Do you break the spaghetti into small pieces for use in a soup? Because that is the only acceptable reason to break spaghetti. If you're breaking spaghetti up for any reason other than to use it as small noodles for soup, then you are a heathen and must be burned at the, I don't know, whatever we burn people on nowadays.
Italian steak?
Yes.
Oh, I want an Italian steak.
Italian steak is like veal, breaded veal with, sauce and mozzarella.
Maybe I'm all right.
Oh, it's good though.
It's
veal
pretty good.
parmigiana.
I can't. The veal.
Well, then
Yeah,
go
it's
for
fine.
chicken
It's
parmigiana.
fine, but it's pretty good.
I'll eat a lamb
Tastes good.
for some reason. I'll eat a lamb. Fuck that lamb. But veal. Oh, that's too far.
Oh man.
All right, let's move on to the next episode.
Why?
I don't know. Because we got
pizza.
So funny.
now.
I missed you
cargo.
guys.
Yeah, it's been too long.
Yep.
Darj, because we're hungry.
Yep. I'm hungry.
Okay, I'm gonna put this on, and then I'm gonna get a beer.
It's the only pleasure in
I'll
life
be right
we
back.
can rely on is eating. The only thing we know that if we actually spend the time
that
and
army.
money and get something really good, it's not going to be a disappointment like the rest of things.
Are
in
they
life.
Are they telling us that we can summon an army to our cargo bay? Or to our hangar? Because I'd be okay with that.
Minions, I believe they're called.
No, fair enough. I guess that's what That's what's going to happen after we can hire NPCs, right? Be like, come, my minion army.
It could do, but I'm just wondering whether or not it's going to kind of be like that if you do land on a properly well-developed station, or just a station that's got enough staff on it that they just come and quickly load it all off. Maybe you can imagine something like that. I want to say Pyro for some reason, but it's not Pyro.
They say it in this episode actually. So you'll be able to pay for your cargo, like when you're at a place buying cargo, you'll be able to select one of your ships to put it in, and then you'll be able to pay a little bit more to have it put into that ship. But then that ship won't be usable until the process of loading that ship has completed. So there is going to be a loading timer on that ship, and that loading timer will be faster or slower depending on the location that you are doing it at, which is great. It's perfect.
Perfect way to handle it.
Everything I wanted. They actually. So this episode actually answered a number of questions that I've had for a while. One of them was that specifically, and the other one was they've added new kiosks. So there's new kiosks that you can call up personal items from just about anywhere, which was my question about, okay, well, we can't access our inventory from everywhere, and it will take too long to get stuff from the car. So this is a faster, like, you want a gun, you want some med pens, it's instant. And thank you. That's all I wanted. That's good. That's good. And yeah, as Darsh says, you can also load it yourself, save money, and save money. Well, actually,
Profit, I believe it's the next. No, I believe the next step is question mark and then profit.
Then profit, yes. Though it's going to be interesting because depending on what you're doing, you might actually want to like load the ship yourself.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
So, yeah.
Like if for example you accepted a timed cargo mission.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe you want to get back to the station so fast that you can see your old ship still being loaded up.
Actually, I was thinking that there's definitely going to be times where somebody's like, I gotta fill up my hull C. I'm gonna go do like a bunker mission while I wait for it to be loaded because it's gonna take like an hour.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing about Star Citizen, where it actually really has to do something, is what the fuck are you supposed to do for entertainment during these moments? Okay, yeah, I could go and do a bunker mission, but I'm a cargo hauler. I'm not here for this shit. What are you doing for me?
No, then go and haul smaller
off for 40 minutes and have a wank or what?
Well,
I was just
go ahead, Rick.
Sorry, Eric.
I was just gonna say, like, you're not just going to own a hull C. No one will just own a hull C. You go and do other missions with smaller ships. Even like cargo haul. If you're a dedicated cargo hauler, that's the only thing you want to do. Well, I'll take your hull A and go and run some high value, low volume cargo while your giant ship is being loaded up.
True. But I mean, like, what
you're gonna have like
is that?
a gajillion cargo boxes on the hull C.
Well, we know that they want to make a living world. They have mentioned that they think about what if we have in-game TV channels and things like that. But what if I want to just do something that's I want to watch this world. I want something to watch from this world. I don't want to achieve what they've made and actually watch a life and be entertained. Something. Is that a thing that can happen? I don't know. But I only want to hear from Eric about this and nobody else at all.
David, go ahead.
I actually have no idea what you were saying, sure, because my brain was... I know, I'm sorry. My brain was having a brain moment. And, no, I've talked about it many times before because to me it was a foundational MMO, but Puzzle Pirates. Puzzle Pirates would let you take jobs in other people's stores and work for money. But hang on, no, hang on.
Oh, you want to be careful with that. I heard this story about some guy in a game that had a very similar premise, and he fucking knackered the economy doing that shit. Have you heard this story?
I'm not getting to that story. I'm not telling that story.
I know. I was just sorry. Go ahead. I had a moment.
What? I think it would actually genuinely be fun if you could sign up for a job in Star Citizen working underneath the spaceport, and like a new ship rolls up and it's like, here's the cargo, here's the ship, you have to put the cargo on the ship. and like you had like a mini game to, or not a mini game, but like a job to load cargo on people's ships that were calling for cargo, and then you got paid based on how well and how quickly you loaded the cargo.
I think that's a great idea.
that
Just
kind of-
there's going to be
basically
people who
wanna
want to
play
play
an
Space
updated version of
Tetris.
Tapper.
Yes,
Tetris,
Tapper.
yeah. Tapper,
Yeah,
Tetris. Yeah,
People are going to
yeah.
want to do it.
Tapper was so fucking addictive. It never ended though. It never ended.
Anyway, I sorry, I just that was sort of based on Mad Stillick's comment there, but I don't know. I think that'd be really fun.
I do want to know how are they making this feel more like a living, breathing world? Yeah, all right. I'll sit here and I'll watch and it's all happening and stuff, but okay, cool. I'm an outsider looking at this world in. How am I a part of this world? What am I, you know, I know it sounds a bit weird, but GTA did this really well where you can do shit without just going to do a mission. I want to do shit that's just bullshit. You know, it doesn't have to advance me. It doesn't have to have any meaning to it, but I want to just be entertained.
Shiver.
Yeah.
Um,
Go and pick my nose for 40 minutes. Is that what it comes down to?
no.
Okay.
The Daymar Rally. It's one of like a billion examples.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Shit like that. I want shit like that. But what if I'm not?
There's so much because
So
they don't have to like explicitly say, you know, this is a thing that we have made for you to do in the game world. I think just by the essence of it being a sandbox, they will make a lot of things that you can just fuck around with.
Also, one of the things that this patch will put in is what's being talked about in this episode, which is persistent hangars, which is you can now put your shit where you want in your hangar. And right now it's going to start with what they've got, but like CIG already have at least one really fun inverse video game.
Yes. Hyper Vanguard Force to the rescue.
So
Yeah.
I will bet
exactly
any money that eventually CIG will sell inverse arcade cabinets that you can put in your freaking ship or in your hangar. And you know what? Oh, I've got 5 minutes. I'm gonna play some Hyper Vanguard Force.
I'm gonna try and beat my high score in Hyper Vanguard Force, and then you're gonna be like, you're gonna finish playing, and you'll be like, "Fuck, my ship's been loaded for like 20 minutes."
And I'm gonna drag it onto the ship with me.
That's right. Yeah. With your tractor beam, you'd be just like, "Come with me."
Can we go magnet fishing?
I don't know. Hey,
Isn't that
Malkieri.
just a tractor beam? Can you go tractor beam fishing? That's the question.
I mean, I'm not even joking. That would be kind of cool.
It would. It would.
You know, there are industrial worlds out there, rivers of fucking rust water.
Yep.
I could go. It's a form of salvaging. It's the most.
That actually would be
basic form of
really
salvaging.
funny. Is just to go to like
go dumpster diving on a planet.
shit pile diving on Hurston.
I'm there. I
What
want
can I
that
find?
kind of shit. It's quirky. It's weird. Name another game that's really gone in for that. That sounds like a fucking great experience. Come on. You don't want to go
there's some
dumpster diving on a whole
RPGs that have
planet.
gone into it a little bit, but I would love it if you
yeah.
could just rummage through crap on Hurston and find like a random Aurora thruster or something.
Could you imagine if you were rummaging through crap, but the crap was created procedurally by the crap that people have lost? Like,
Yes,
someone's Aurora died
Definitely.
and it got...
Good night, Dan.
Good night, Dan. Like,
I know what you mean,
That's-
mate. It's 3 a.m., but it really feels like 2.
yeah, I don't know. I think that'd be really cool. Anyway, this video is showing sort of the some of the upcoming kiosks that are going to help you do a bunch of different things, which is kind of cool. Oh yeah, the ships, when you can now load ships from the hangar, which is great because I hated having to
Amazing.
run out of the hangar and out and then to the whatever it is called and then all the way back. Just fuck it. So now there's a place to call the ships from in your hangar and they just show up through the floor. And yes, you can fall through the open floor and kill yourself if you so choose. And you know what? Good. You know? Good.
That's going to be a very
It's the
funny
victory I've been
in-game death.
waiting for.
I'm glad they included that, honestly. They were saying that some of the hangars have been resized and redesigned a little bit to like accommodate for this change. The large and very large hangar, I think, have both increased, and yeah, so bigger hangars, prettier hangars. Hangars are going to work.
I'm
And
not
they're
surprised
persistent.
they had to change them a little bit because the Carrack just barely fit in the hangar before.
Yeah. And oh yeah,
Sorry,
and
the van was
they're,
going over.
They're,
Very good.
yeah, they're going to some of the ships that did fit in like the small hangar are now medium hangar ships. So they've resized the hangars a bit and then reallocated ships to different hangars so that there's room outside of the ship place for you to place stuff and have fun. Yeah, that is the essence of this episode.
I liked it.
Good
Made me
episode.
happy.
And now we get to this week's episode. Vision.
Vision revision.
This was a lot talking about the HUD.
You-
The new HUD looks so good.
Uh-huh. Especially with that little mini map up there.
Yes, the minimap looks great. The HUD looks great. The new the new loot looks. Everything. It looks better.
Yep.
A lot. A
More
lot.
better.
We're on our way.
I mean, yeah. We're on our way to from misery to happiness today.
The thing about a UI is when it's working and when it's right and when it's good, you're just like, yep, so it works. There's not much you can really fucking say about it when it's working. It's one of those things. It's the same with sound. It's just like, it's in there and it adds to it and it's great.
One thing
Sound.
I think I'm not normal in this, but to me, a video game's like sound and soundtrack are only good if I don't notice them at all.
No, you are not alone in that in any way, shape, or form. That is how it should be. That is when you know it is.
When it just
If
feels
you're out there, you're
correct.
like,
Yeah.
that doesn't sound right. You notice
Yeah.
that. If it sounds right, you do not question it.
Well,
It's
then
literally a thankless job doing sound effects, sadly.
but music as well, like there's so
It should fit the mood.
it needs to fit the mood, but it's also so Red Dead Redemption 1 had this moment where you cross from I think you cross the border into Mexico or something.
Mhm.
And there's a song that plays, and it's the only time in the game that like an actual song plays. But the change in tone from having like actual music and guitar and singing vocals really affected me. Like I think about that moment frequently from a game that I don't remember anything about else. But I think about that one music moment because I didn't notice music so much in that game, and then they used the change in music to make a statement, sort of.
Yeah. When you do a good job everywhere else, you can go. This is different, so it'll make an impact on the player, emotional impact on the player.
Portable 2. There
Oh,
are
yeah.
moments in some of the test chambers
it triggers a certain point of music.
Yeah.
When you hit a trigger, and it's really clever the way that they've used that certain music to represent this, and you're like, oh shit. And the one that always stands out for me is one of the most simplistic ones early on, and you're going back and forth, and then a long jump, and it's on the long jump you just hear this because you've put all these things in place and it just fits in, and you're like, oh, it's cool how they can use this to your advantage, and you're just suddenly like, how many other times have they done that? That wasn't a sound effect, that was music.
Yep. But it's this like that same feeling with UI. Like if a UI is good, you don't even notice that it's good. You just use it. If a UI is bad and you're fighting it, it ruins the experience.
No, it sure does, yeah, for sure.
And so much of my Star Citizen playtime, what little there is, has been fighting Star Citizen's inventory, honestly.
Well, inventory, and most importantly, the map or lack thereof.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out, trying to get Quantum to work properly because you can't get yourself aligned or click on the thing. You know what I mean.
Getting lost in the Starfarer because it's the most haphazardly designed ship.
That ship is so confusing. Oh, man.
You know what I think the problem with that ship is, actually? Remembering back to when they were designing it, there was this big talk about, because it was the biggest ship they had designed to that point.
Oh, yeah.
And they were talking about how they were designing it as an FPS level because it was as big as an FPS level. And I think that's the problem. They designed it as an FPS level rather than designing it as a ship and then making sure that it worked as an FPS level. Yeah. And those are two very different things.
Very possibly that might have been the issue. I mean,
that is a very good point.
And it's funny because at the time we were all like, yes, this is so cool that it's big enough that they're designing it as an FPS level. I love it. This is great. And then,
like, yeah, I can't figure where the fuck I am.
North End, yes.
Oh, man.
Oh.
I got lost on the cat.
And got lost in the who?
On the caterpillar.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I never do it I never get to the cockpit first time. It's always I always end up going back round on myself, and I'm like, oh, stupid twat.
I can't
get
wait.
Lost in the Aurora.
I can't. You can see all of it from wherever you're standing. Sorry, laying down, you can't really stand in there.
Do you remember the old-fashioned way that you used to get in the Avengers? Rear entry only.
Yep.
The most awkward fucking mount in, swing your whole body in, and you're like, this is safe. I'll eject.
It was designed this way.
This is what the police in Star Citizen use. I'm fine.
I actually had to go into work in the office the other week for the first time ever.
Nice.
I got lost. I got so lost in the office. It took me probably 30 minutes to figure out where I was supposed to sit.
I forgot what house I live in while I was in bed. More than once. I wish I was joking, but I genuinely did forget which house I was living in as I was in bed.
Oh, that's funny.
It's beautiful.
So many times.
Oh, I'm sorry, Darge.
What did you miss, Darge? Well, you missed UI discussions, getting lost in your own house. The Starfarer is a Counter-Strike level. Something like that.
UI good, sound good.
The
Starfarer design bad.
Starfarer design very bad. But the looting menu here is so phenomenally well done in that you hover over it, you hover over your weapon, and it will highlight the magazines and the attachments that work for that weapon. which
So cool.
I love it. It's just like so many of Star Citizen's decisions in my mind have pushed things to be more confusing, more obfuscating, more work. Taking away inventory accessibility everywhere and putting it in kiosks. Even putting in kiosks, great, thank you for doing that. But I did really like being able to open my inventory from anywhere in this city, just as convenience. Like lots of their choices get rid of convenience for realism. This one, oh my god, I wish every single friggin' game had this.
I know, it's so nice. And it's
'Cause,
important too, especially in this game, because there are many guns and many different types of
Yep.
ammo. So it's a very quick visual thing. It's like, hey, this mag that I picked up works in this gun. I can see it. It's right there. It took me a fraction of a second to find out that information.
Yep, I love it. I love it so much.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to use this looting menu, and I'm really excited because the old looting menu is still there, but it's like you won't use it for looting. You'll use it for item management, which great. When I need to sit down and look through my stuff, I can do that. But when I'm in a firefight and I just need a fucking mag, just let me grab just a fucking mag with one click.
I need a mag.
Don't make me,
Yeah. Yes, I like it very much.
You're right, Elwook. And you would think in the future as well, it would be more standardized than less.
Not necessarily, because it's not that none of the weapons use the same ammo. It's that none of them have the same magazines or clips. Which happens now as well, right?
Yes.
What Star Citizen's eventually going to have to do is break it out from magazines and break it into actual ammunition that you use to fill those magazines.
The actual cartridges, yeah.
Yeah. Because each weapon having a different, profile for their magazine makes sense.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
But you should be able to load 2 9mm guns from... Hey, an Escavian. I actually don't... Look, I know what you're saying, but I kind of like magazine management as a thing. Escape from Tarkov, I think, did it kind of well, because you could have you can only take so much with you on a mission because you risk losing it all. But so I'd take one spare mag for each gun, but then I'd take a bunch of ammo that I could load into those spare mags, right? I think that actually adds a lot of complexity, and it's good complexity. It's the inventory management complexity between battles that I think that actually adds something, in my opinion at least. But I don't know if any of what I said made sense.
I just want a fucking bolt gun.
They shared ammo, but not magazines. Right? So you've got 2 9mm weapons, you've got 49mm rounds, and you've got 2 magazines. Yeah. All Star Citizen has to do is add in
ammo.
The cartridges, add in ammo as a thing. And then it'll be better, I think.
I agree.
Yeah. Anything else to say about the inventory screen? Shiver, what do you think about it?
It's about time we had a fucking functional inventory that not only functioned, was easy to use, but like you said, these nice bits of, I can just hover over this gun, and first day on Star Citizen,
excellent. I know I can take this, this, and this.
Yeah.
What could you ask for? Brilliant.
Oh, and then the other thing they talked about. Yeah, no, it's I like the change. No, I'll leave this video up because it's sort of got it. So they talked about, so they've redone how the UI is displayed when you don't have a helmet on. It's a contact lens that you're wearing. When you do have a helmet on, it's displayed in the visor, which allows them to do a bunch more stuff and show different things and hide other things that are unimportant and stuff. And like informational pop-ups no longer pop up in the middle of your fucking screen. They pop up on the sides, so they stop getting in your way, which is great. But one of the things, so only one visor is going to have this for now. It's like a combat visor. That will have the like the combat crosshair, the linked crosshair. But they also talked about how this now gives them the ability to start adding custom things to custom visors, which is really nice.
Yeah.
Hang on, LSP. Hang on, sorry. LSP said, on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is spending time and money on adding individual ammo to put into the existing magazines? Initially, I got what you're meaning, but what if, right, they can tie this into a science and crafting system, because, you're going to need science and crafting to start building these magazines. Or at the very least, you're going to need a science and crafting system for real science, right? Come on, CIG. Something about science, something. But
and the ability to craft your own cartridges and then load your magazines with your own cartridges, and load this magazine with these cartridges and this magazine with these cartridges. Go ahead.
Bullets, casing, munitions, it's a chemical reaction. It is science now. Okay,
Yep.
Let's chuck out the bullet casings and let's replace it with actual science. So I see what you're saying, LSP, but it could have that knock-on effect of this leads into opening up being able to do a proper science and crafting system that is actually going to be of interest to someone who has no interest in anything combat-wise.
Mm-hmm. I would like to say,
not guaranteed,
just
potentially.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I do like
on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is it spending in time and money? Probably say about a 6. Now, how much time and money? Almost none, I think, because they're already tracking individual rounds based on, because you can combine mags, and so there already is programming in there for it to a degree. I don't think it would be very difficult at all to do it. I think it would take.
Can I also say, so LSP, you're asking it about crafting magazines instead of ammo. It's not a possibility. So one of the things that I think really interesting from a real life perspective is like tracer rounds. So lots of heavier machine guns will actually load, 3 regular bullets and then a tracer round, 3 regular bullets and then a tracer round, right? But if we can manually load our own magazines, maybe you can start doing that. Maybe you can allow, I want, 1 armor piercing, 1 not, 1 armor piercing, 1 not, so that I'm ready for whatever I'm going to encounter, I don't know.
Can I take it one step further of, okay, you want to construct the casings, but what about gathering the materials to construct the alloys or the polymers that make the casings?
Exactly.
What about being able to research your own formula to be able to make it more efficiently than some planet does, so you can start coming in and selling it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm spitballing here.
No, I think that works well. It ties into the whole tuning system they're talking about with weapons.
Yeah,
I think that
I do see your point
nicely.
of when they're saying that they're going to spend this time focusing on that, it can have these knock-on effects where this can then save another team that's working on something seemingly completely unrelated a lot of time and money. It can work out like that. But
Mhm.
I
And
do. I'm
LSP,
also,
you're-
I see your point as valid as well.
You're also very right to ask the question of time and money in everything. I think that this one's probably they're going to do it. There's just no need right now. Because, like Shira was saying, if this is tied to science, well, do it when science is happening and we get more crafting, right? Like, this is a
Mhm.
crafting thing.
They-
We don't really have crafting yet. Okay, we'll do it when there's crafting.
They've been talking more, name dropping crafting a lot more recently. So I suspect they're focusing on it right now.
Yeah. And if this is as part of crafting, then it makes sense to do it as part of crafting, right? It's just going to be one addition. Like, they're going to have to make crafting things and recipes, and they're going to have to make a ton of things that you can craft in order to make crafting useful. Well, okay. Adding bullets to a crafting menu is actually a really easy way to pad out that crafting loop.
And
And
make
the
it, and
mining
again,
and
make it lucrative, because
Yeah.
people are going to be going through ammo like freaking crazy in this game.
I mean, one of the things that you can set up with an org is you set up your own production chain, and
Yeah.
then that's when you start making the money. Then you get the money. Then you get the power. Then you get the soup.
I do love me some soup. I think there was one more video this week. Oh yeah, they're changing up the buying menus, which I think is great. I hate buying things in Star Citizen so much. It's really unintuitive, and you have to fight with it, and you have to pick things up, and like, it's just not fun. And then you're like, yes, I'd like to buy this. Here's a screen. Please confirm that you want to buy. I told you I wanted to buy it when I clicked buy. But I like this new system a lot better. It's just, hey, hold. You like that? Hold B, and it'll be bought.
Purchase it. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it's a lot better.
So you hold B to make the transaction.
Yeah. B for buy. Buy. My barling.
B for sale.
Yes.
B for trade.
B for blow all your money on weapons that you don't really need. Yeah.
B for marketeering.
B for procurement of associated goods and services.
B for industrial innovation.
Yes. B for capitalism.
Just when you thought we couldn't go off the rails,
B for
We choose-
mercantilism.
we do it yet again.
Very good. Ooh.
I
B
agree with
for
all
the
look.
Space Silk Road.
B for in this economy.
B for the local grocery store.
Nobody can afford that.
B for dollar bill, y'all.
B for I'd buy that for $1.
Send help.
For $1.
B for the
Oh,
bees.
dude.
The bees.
It is
B
nice
for
to see.
oh bugger! I forgot my wallet.
B for bollocks.
It is nice to see all of these.
I love
Improvements
that
going in.
charge. B for shop local, shoplift corporate.
Shop S-Mart.
Oh.
Something we should talk about before we finish here in 14 minutes. There's also been several server meshing tests recently.
Oh yes,
Yes.
that is very
Yes.
important.
Start that talk. I'll be right back.
Okay, run, David.
Yeah, they were the static one. So this is
Yeah, static.
go for Eric. Yeah,
Yeah, so they're just experimenting, which is what the whole idea was behind that tech PTU branch, was to experiment and basically trying to find what their limits are in terms of how many players they can get into a server, finding out the ideal organization of servers in a system. Sounds like things were pretty successful. I think they had they were testing it. Maybe you guys can remind me. I think they had like 600 players per server there. 800
Said
players.
800 in one.
800 players. And I think they had what was it, 6 servers in Stanton, the one test. So that's pretty amazing.
Okay. Yeah. It's not bad.
Lots of really cool videos coming out of like actually showing the transition between the servers. Is like completely seamless, which is amazing. So it was one thing to see it at CitizenCon 6 months ago. It's a whole other thing to actually see it working.
I've made the mistake. I've made the mistake twice over the last 12 years of saying to some of my friends, like, "Hey, we should try Star Citizen," and it's been a mistake every time.
You're way too early.
I was way too early, but some of what we're getting in 3.23, the revamped UI, the map, maybe some server meshing. I don't know.
Right,
it might
meshing in 3.23, but
might go to PTU.
Yeah,
they're gonna need. I mean, look at what happened when they did. What was it, 320? And it worked fine in PTU, and then they launched 320, and everything fucking died as soon as they had, numbers. They're gonna have to test server meshing.
Oh yeah,
scale, right?
Yeah.
318. Yeah. Sorry, I don't remember my numbers.
I did like your thought there, Darge. Yeah, I'm sure the servers were quite happy not having to simulate the entire system.
Well, it's going to give them so much more room to expand the systems and we've said this for a while, that like Stanton's been too full for.
Well, they had to remove
since it was
They had to remove what the frick was it called? Delamar?
Yeah.
Yeah. And send it back to its system.
Don't go to Legoland. I went to Legoland in Toronto, and it was one of the worst experiences I've ever had. It was crap. I was really disappointed.
Of all the experiences in your life, that was the worst experience, was going to Legoland.
I mean, like, the worst, like, hey, I paid money for this experience.
Oh, okay.
Worst experience.
Eris, this CitizenCon, give me £10 and I'll kick you in each bollock. Then you've had a worse experience in Legoland that you paid for. I'm willing to do this as your friend.
I kind of don't think he's going to, go for that, but.
I mean, £10 is a lot of
the
money.
offer's there.
That's at least $50 Canadian.
It was about 20 Canadian.
Not anymore, it's not.
Yeah, it's true. It was. And then the UK decided to.
No, our money's still worth twice as much as yours.
Not quite. Not anymore.
Yeah, do I owe Stormy?
You're right, LSP. Nothing worthwhile happens in Vaughan. It was
1.71.
Off.
Not quite.
That's low. Wow.
It is low right now. You're going in a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when I was growing up, it was like 2.8. It was brutal.
Yeah.
It's like going to the UK was impossible.
Yeah. Now it's almost almost not going to be one
Almost
of the
reasonable.
more expensive. Oh, it's going to be so expensive. For anyone that doesn't know, I'm going to CitizenCon this year, and Mrs. Eris has decided that this is a perfect time to go on our first ever family vacation. So I'm going with Mrs. Eris and Mini Eris and Micro Eris.
I keep telling you,
I like
put
the
kids up for
title.
adoption before you go on holiday. Save some money on the air tickets. Come back, you adopt them, and they love you more because they've been to an orphanage and eaten orphan grade gruel. Now they appreciate
Wow.
what you actually do
No,
for them when you pick them
Shiver,
up.
come on, dude. In this economy, I buy orphan grade gruel straight from the source and feed it to them.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
In this economy,
Yeah.
Says the guy who cooks amazing homemade meals every day.
shut up, shut up.
Says the guy who was just saying about going on a flight to the UK.
I do want to know. So, I don't think I'm ever gonna find it, but the only other time I've been in the UK was
You can throw
20
things at us, LSP.
what
Remember
was it?
Staticus?
2016.
15.
No tickets and hotels yet. We're planning the Airbnb course because we're doing like a full 3 weeks. We're doing the East Coast, then we're doing London, then we're doing up to Manchester, then we're going up to Scotland, and we're leaving from Scotland. But the last time I was in Manchester, 6Fs and Caps and I were wandering around Manchester, and we found a hole-in-the-wall pub. And walked in, and it was smaller than this fucking room that I'm in. And I got served the best pint of beer I've ever had in my entire life. It was a pint of Hobgoblin Gold pulled from a keg, and I've never drunk anything better in my life. And
Could take you to High Wycombe if I knew that. Where the
High
brewery
Wycombe?
is.
Wait, really? I do need to find I gotta find some.
They've got several different.
Yes.
I think the brewery's Witchwood pubs, and
Yeah.
they're all themed like the label. It's
Really?
like stepping into Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
They used to be anyway. It has
okay.
been some time since I've been to High Wycombe. You can go skiing there as well. They got a dry ski ramp.
Is it? You've seen my itinerary. Is it anywhere near any of my itineraries?
Yeah, High Wycombe is in between where you are and in between where I am. It's literally
Okay.
about the halfway point.
Okay.
It's all right. There's a whole load of country. I don't care. No one cares where I live anyway. Fuck you. Be glad of the stalker. It'd be nice to have the attention. No one cares.
Oh man.
Anyway,
I
we're
might be going to CitizenCon, but it is very much a waiting game for me.
okay.
Work project that I have
no.
to be here for that is currently scheduled for October. So
No.
I might not even buy tickets. I might just get on the train that day and then just stand and look at you all in the line and go, all right, I'm going to go and watch it from the comfort of my home like a twat.
I mean,
Oh,
it'll suck, but I'll do it by myself.
oh man.
No, if I can, I'll go. I'll do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be.
Yeah.
I'm
Sweet.
buying a CitizenCon ticket, and I will be
Yes.
going as long as my work won't murder me in my sleep if I do it.
You can always
I
do
will
it.
tell everyone now, if you see me there, trust me, I'm way more scared of all of you than you would be of me.
All I know is it's going to be really nice going to a CitizenCon not as like a somewhat pillar of the community, because the other ones that we've
Yeah,
the one in,
we're the bedrock of the community now. Nobody even knows who we are.
but like in Manchester,
Yeah,
like
the
people kept
community
walking up to me and
bedrock.
thanking us.
Oh, even at the 2019 one. Yeah, I had people who I've been watching you guys for years and years. So
Yeah.
it's like, oh wow, that's cool.
That ain't gonna happen this time, and it's gonna be nice.
Unless
I'm
one of
not
these
going with
19 people show up.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure we'll see some of them. But you know, these 19 people have these people have now
Awesome,
been
George to be our fanboy. That's perfect.
Yes. Come on, you've all been disillusioned as to our professionalism. You've seen through the doors and our
yeah, we don't have any
Robbery, I don't
professionalism.
No. I'm not going for interviews this time. I'm just going to go to have fun.
Shiver. What are you doing this week?
Hi. This week, we've got Vampire Masquerade coming up on Friday. I think it's still just barely Friday in your time zone. That's coming up to an end in about 2 or 3 weeks, and we will be doing a Star Trek Adventures campaign in its place for a few weeks.
Nice. Also, Stormy's here.
Awesome.
Hi, Stormy.
There is a beer for
I love that, Darge.
You're so fucking right. So right.
I mean, there is a full fridge in the other room just for beer. For me. So.
That's excellent.
Can't help but respect that.
That's a very Canadian thing. The beer fridge. Yeah.
Elwook, I have some very scary news for you. For some strange reason, for the last, like, I don't know what, like 6 years or something, I've been in charge.
Yeah, I know. It's terrifying, isn't it?
I'm really sorry. I apologize profusely. Hi. I'm the
That's why
problem.
he's in charge.
It's me.
He just wanted the excuse to constantly apologize.
I'm sorry. Oh,
Is having
no,
a
North
walk-in
End.
beer fridge a red flag? No, that's a green
That's a
flag.
dream.
Now, if you have to refill it every day because you've drank all the beer out of your walk-in beer fridge, then you have some problems.
What you have to do, see, is you make
It's
a
what
walk-in
Ninja said,
brew
true.
fridge.
If what Ninja said is true, we can work something out. We can work something out here. You know, suddenly
Well,
I'm Canadian. Hi. What's that all about, eh?
Well,
you hoosers? I'm getting
you
into
literally
this.
can't go to a town in Canada anymore of any size without finding a cannabis store. They're everywhere. There are towns of like 8 people, and there's a cannabis store on the corner.
There are more cannabis stores than there are doctors. I look down the street, cannabis store. It used to be,
Eric,
it actually used to be tattoo
you
shops.
marry me?
Yeah. What was that?
You want to marry me? Yeah.
I'm really sorry, Shiver, but unfortunately, I don't qualify.
Now, I just wanted to really quickly say, North End, what you have to do is you have a walk-in beer fridge that is on the edge of your house, right? So you can walk in and grab your beer, but you have scheduled deliveries, and they deliver it to the other side of the beer fridge, so you never run out, because they're just delivering it to the beer fridge in your house, and then you just open it up and grab it from the beer fridge in your house.
And you never even know how many you've drank.
Exactly.
Yep. It's a mystery. Especially if they also take away all of your empty bottles when they come to deliver more beer.
Exactly.
It's perfect.
LCBO. If you're talking LCBO or beer store, I think the government owns them both, actually. They're both.
Yeah, they do.
Beer store, yeah.
We don't do that over here, but we're weird. So.
Yeah. Anyway, we have reached time, and it's like, what, 5 a.m. over there for you, Shiver?
We reached it. Yeah, it's like 3:30 in the morning. This has never gone on this long. We're an hour over. What the fuck? It's weird, though. It doesn't feel like 3:30.
I wonder why that is.
We do still call them 2-4s. It's a 2-4
This
a beer.
day's gone really fast, you know.
Genuinely, thank you all for coming out and watching us.
Thank you, everybody.
I do want to apologize for our 2-week absence.
It happens.
Sorry. I know it happens, but I'm apologizing. So
We're sorry
Yeah.
we're human and we ended up getting ill or having issues, you know, being human.
but I
Apologize for being human and not lizards in disguise like the
It'd be
royal
really cool
family.
if somebody could help me not get sick anymore. That'd be cool.
I would love that. You're sick too often. I'm sorry for you. But with
Mhm.
any luck, we will be here next week for more of this. And, we love you all. Sincerely hope
Except
to see
you. You know what you did. If you keep doing it, you'll go blind.
Sincerely hope to see as many of you as possible in CitizenCon this year. Stay safe. Don't pet the moose.
No, terrible idea.
And yeah, don't pet the moose. Saw a video the other day of a moose chasing a bear, and that bear looked fucking scared.
Yep.
Most importantly, do not kink shame unless that's your thing, you dirty little